How's it going, everybody? It is your host Aku here, and welcome to the third quarter update of 2019 for my YouTube channel. Anyways, it's been quite a while, and we're in the summertime right now, and it is fucking hot in here. At least where I'm at right now. So how about we just not waste any more time and get started of what we're going to be bringing in the table. Now, if you take a look at my Twitter, you'll know what I might end up being talking about for this one. It's going to be quite the big one. Hopefully it's going to be pretty promising to you guys, and yeah, let's get down to it. So I guess I could start with the current status of current projects that I'm currently working on. So my Pokemon Colosseum Let's Play right now is still ongoing, but at the moment I don't have any more videos after part 19 because, well, I haven't recorded for quite a while. So most of them were pretty much reserved for a little while, but don't worry, I will be doing more. Right now, I'm just had to start level grinding some of my Pokemon, and pretty sure, and hopefully to have my party to become more stronger, because I believe for the last few episodes I did have a quite bit of a trouble, so I think level grinding session is in order for me, so don't worry, it's still ongoing. So my other Let's Play that I've been currently working on is Chameleon Twist, which is actually my shorter Let's Play, because I actually did finish recording it. I finished the game actually, so but if you look at my channel, you only see one episode of it. Right now, the remaining 5 episodes, I'm gonna have to start going through some editing. I already did so for the first episode, so I'm currently working on trying to do so with the second episode and onward. Hopefully, eventually, they will be uploaded on the channel and the project will just be completed. So, since there wasn't much that happened since then, other than, yes, we did manage to complete Wario World, and we also completed a Japanese exclusive game called Cinema World Brua for a Daiboken, which was for the Game Boy Advance. That was also pretty short, you can pretty much say. So yes, Pokemon Colosseum is actually my only project that has been quite longer than the rest, or assuming if you want to compare the other ones that I've done for this year. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the status of my current Let's Play so far. So I guess I do want to talk about some of the behind the scenes, what I've been trying to going on, because as you can pretty much tell, these were all emulated because let's just say I didn't have any other way to try to record them. So I do want to talk about a little more on the whole behind the scenes, what I've been doing with the whole emulation situation, and also talking about trying to record games from my Switch and Super Nintendo Classic, because I had to talk about those because I've done a couple of test recordings on that. I mean, I haven't really uploaded them because, well, it's a bit pointless, but I guess I'll talk about my test recording sessions with my Elgato. So in terms of actually recording the games themselves, it's completely fine. The test runs, they work perfectly. Now, my only issue is because when it comes to my Let's Plays, I do commentary, right? So the way I do commentary the way the whole commentary works with the Elgato is a little bit different. There is the commentary option, which I did test out the waters. I even try to do commentary with Audacity here, but I feel like with Audacity, I feel like it's best worked with either if I do post commentary, which that's not something I do and it's not something that I'm used to at the moment. Maybe I might do so someday, but I'm not too sure. And then there's the commentary option within the Elgato software in itself. Now, every time I try to do a test commentary, though, without my headphones, it sounds really echoey. You can literally hear the echoes and you can hear the background sounds, which that's not something I want within my commentary. So I want to make sure that my voice sounds clear and not so echoey and not necessarily hearing the background noises. So I'm still trying to work on that. And then every time I did use my headphones, which it solves the problem of the echoes and whatnot. But every time I put my headphones on, I end up hearing my voice, and I don't want to hear my voice apparently, which it bothers me when I try to talk. I don't know, it's a bit of a pet peeve of mine. which it's a pain in the ass. And honestly, I'm thinking my only option is to literally not wear my headphones, but just plugging in my headphones, but not necessarily putting it on my ears, which means that I might not be able to hear the audio through my computer. Though I'll see if I can still hear the audio through the TV itself without the audio necessarily catching within the background sounds, but actually catch my voice audio. So if anything, if I want to do a let's play of a game that's directly through the TV, I'm gonna have to do a few more testing. So if there's any projects that I want to do that requires me to use maybe my Nintendo Switch or my Super Nintendo Classic, or even my Wii U, those may need a longer time. So I apologize that I might not be able to do it in that method. So please wait a little bit longer on that, because trying to somehow doing an live commentary on the with the Elgato is a bit of a pain in the ass at the moment. So I'm gonna find alternative ways. I'm thinking of one other option, but then I know there's another options where I might need a second computer, and I can install Audacity on my second computer, and then having the main computer be recording using the Elgato software and whatnot. I don't know. Or maybe I could just not wear my headphones, but still have it plug in into the computer so that I don't have to go through the echo issues. So I'm gonna have to see where that goes. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk a little bit more with the emulators. So let's just say that I have been testing out some games for particular emulators, such as Project 64. I even tested a Wii game for Dolphin, so I'm gonna talk about how that works, because so far I have approximately 45 Nintendo 64 ROMs that I can test out the waters, but in terms of testing out the games, the only one that does not work and is not playable at all is Hey You Pikachu. But you know what? I'm fine with that. With the other games that I had tested out, because I didn't necessarily test every single one of them, because trust me, it's fucking a lot. They work fine. There is some minor issues with Banjo-Kazooie, though. The game itself, it runs perfectly fine, but the only issue is with the title screen. But other than that though, the game works fine. It plays perfectly. The audio sounds fine to me. I heard some people say they have audio issues with certain games there, but somehow it works perfect for me. Now with Dolphin, since the last two Let's Plays that I had worked on, which was Wario World and then currently Pokemon Coliseum still, that was recorded on a Dolphin emulator, for those who don't know. I've never owned these games, but I did. The reason why I did, I'm not sure if I said this before, the reason why I wanted to do a Let's Play on Pokemon Coliseum, because, my childhood game, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, I had played, but because I found out about Pokemon Coliseum and I've never got the chance to, really buy it, which honestly I wish I did have a hard copy for those games, especially Pokemon Coliseum, because I love Pokemon. I was trying to test out waters with some of the Wii games. So far I tested with Klonoa and it works perfectly well. I just had to play around with the graphics backend and whatnot, because honestly though, OpenGL does not fucking like Wii games for some reason. In my case anyways, it's like whenever I use Direct 3D11 as a backend and the graphics work just fine. No graphical issues, none of that bullshit graphical issues, no flashing or any of that shit. And trust me, Dolphin is a really good GameCube and /Wii emulator. So I've been testing with that, and especially the Dolphin 5.0. I must have probably explained that last time, but I think I wanted to go more details, especially how back then I've never tested a Wii game. But yeah, so far I only tested out one, but for some reason, when I did OpenGL, the graphical issues with Klonoa game, it's really crazy. But when I did with Direct 3D11 and I think Direct 3D12 Experimental, which I found that Direct 3D12 Experimental, if you guys are expert when it comes to with the Dolphin emulator and how it works, you know that the latter works with more of the graphical intensive games, so I'm not good with examples of what would they necessarily be. Maybe Xenoblade Chronicles, though I could be wrong on that. But yeah, the only other emulators I did test out is, I believe, Fusion 360, which is a emulator that works with the Sega Master System, the Sega Genesis, the Sega Game Gear, and I believe the Sega Saturn. So it functions to be working with 4 types of game systems. It's an emulator that works for those Sega systems. The only one that does not, the only Sega system or Sega games that it won't work for is the Sega Dreamcast. But honestly though, that's fine. So I tested out Fusion 360 with Monster World 4 because I wanted to just pick out a random game. I might also test out Sonic the Hedgehog because honestly, like when it comes to like Sega consoles, like Sonic is immediately the first thing you think in mind. I mean, come on now, it's Sonic the fucking Hedgehog, which I gotta test that out too. But what else? Okay, so basically I actually tested out the Super Nintendo 9X, which is an emulator that I use that I have for the Super Nintendo games. I actually tested it out, and with all the ones that I did test it out, with all the ROMs, they work fine. So I have no issues with, so basically the ones that I have no issues with is the emulator for the Super Nintendo and then Fusion 364. I don't know why I said Fusion 360. I just literally looked at it in my computer. So, so in case if you're wondering how many like ROMs I have for each of the systems, with Dolphin, I currently have, I believe, 25 GameCube games, and I think only 1 Wii. I have like others too that at the moment, but I would have to like go through extra steps in order to turn those files into actual ROMs. I don't know. The process with the Wii games is really like, it's fucking weird. It's very weird. So I have like 25 GameCube games. With Super Nintendo ROMs, I have about 130. Same thing goes with the Game Boy Advance ROMs. I have around 130 of them. The Nintendo 64, I have approximately 50. When it comes to the Sega games, I think Monster World 4 is the only ROM I have at the moment. I'm also looking forward to see if I can get Decimate, which is a DS emulator, because I don't have a capture card. They're so goddamn expensive. And I think ever since the whole law that was implemented recently in Japan, where I believe it's called the Unfair Competition Act, some stupid shit, where somehow like if you mod a Nintendo system, or I think it specifically implies with the Nintendo Switch, if you somehow modify the Nintendo Switch, you basically just end up going to jail. You'll get arrested for modifying your Nintendo Switch. I think that it's also implied with other Nintendo systems as well. I mean, of course, that only happens in Japan. I don't think this actually happens for the rest of the world, so I find that shit to be really crazy. And I think one of the 3DS capture card developers shut down because of this. And I'm like, well, shit, how the fuck then am I going to be able to get a capture card then? I know there are probably other developers that also do like 3DS capture cards, like Loopy, though I think Loopy is very hard to find. And I think there was one where they're constantly in and out when it comes to like having like being available to modify your 3DSs and whatnot. Like sometimes they'll constantly say, oh, we're sold out, or hey, we're available to make more capture cards. It's a constant in and out, and it's a pain in the ass. Now, speaking of like 3DS games, because I don't think I've actually mentioned about this, so I don't have the 3DS emulator yet, but I do have a small amount of 3DS ROMs. don't worry, most of the 3DS ROMs that I have at the moment are the games that I actually own in real life. So, but of course, because trust me, getting a 3DS ROM is fucking difficult to find without going through like some hurdles, because like you can potentially go through risk of getting a fucking virus on a computer. And I don't want to fuck with that, but I did eventually find a place where I could actually download or find them without necessarily risking getting a virus or any of that sort. But I'm still working on it. I have not tested out like gameplay because again, I don't have the emulator yet. So I'm gonna so more details on that. Maybe I'll probably be able to tell you that when I get to maybe the fourth quarter update, which it will happen in October. So that's like not till another 3 months from now. Anyway, so what else would I... Alright, so now that we have the whole recording behind the scenes and whatnot out of the way, how about we start talking about some of the future plans? So in terms of future Let's Plays, at the moment, I'm thinking of a couple of other games that I probably might think of. I mean, hey, why not we can finally start out a Mario game, right? Because to be honest, I play mostly Nintendo games, but never once in my YouTube career have I ever done a Let's Play of a Mario game. I was thinking maybe I can start with a childhood favorite of mine, and I'm probably thinking, you know, how about Super Mario 64? That's one of a good project that I can go for because I've never done a Mario game on a channel. I have played Mario games, so I'm thinking like, hey, why not? And maybe I'll see if I can do a Wii game, and that's assuming if I can do more testings of that, and hopefully if the game that I want to do will work perfectly fine and not go through too much of an issue. But honestly though, I'm a bit unprepared when it comes to what I want to do next, because sometimes there's so many games that I have on my mind. Hopefully I can put out something, but at least that we still have Pokemon Coliseum still in the works and whatnot. Also, one more thing, or actually two more things, because I've been thinking about this for quite a while, but I've always thought about like maybe start live streaming. I know that that's something unheard of for me, and I don't have a Twitch account, so I'm not sure how the whole Twitch live streaming works, but I do know that when it comes to YouTube, with YouTube, you can do live streams on YouTube. So I'm thinking maybe, like, what do you guys think? Do you think I should start live streaming? And if so, what would you like for me to start live streaming? Because it'd be totally great that I can start, you know, interacting with you guys. Like for those who probably come by to the stream, you know, we can interact through the streaming chat. I mean, I'm not entirely an expert, but I am doing my research at the moment, so yeah. And I know one thing for sure is that I haven't done like any online match videos for quite a while, so I'm thinking maybe I can be able to bring that back. It's the summer right now. I have mostly free time, so how about we can get back into that? We can do some Splatoon 2. We can do some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I don't know. I have plenty of games that I can do for like online multiplayer shit that I can use for footage and whatnot. Get ready to see me being a badass, or watch me getting my ass completely kicked, because I haven't gone through online for a while, so it's very likely I'm gonna be pretty rusty in the beginning. But hopefully I'll do better as time goes on, as I do more online matches. It really depends on what games that I do at that specific moment in time. If I do like want to upload like online match videos and whatnot, it'll most probably be either on Saturdays or Sundays. So what do you guys think of that? You're more than free to express your opinions on that. And I think next thing I do want to talk about is the video formatting. I don't think I'm not too clear of what I meant by video formatting. So more like, how do you know, like, because sometimes I'm not very clear if the games I do like a Let's Play on is either a blind playthrough or a game that I have played before. So I may as well just say this because the way I do this, what I'm probably gonna do it now is through my thumbnails. If you guys see how I've done my thumbnails for the last few months now, or at least ever since the beginning of this year, and hopefully I can find a way to like maybe refine the thumbnail, because I know it's probably not perfect, but I try to make it look a little more professional than what it used to be, and to show off like screenshot of the actual game footage to show that I'm not using a camcorder, but it's actually being recorded either through OBS or through an Elgato. Assuming if I could get that up and running. But anyways, so since most of the games that I've did throughout this year, I played through them for the very first time. I played through those games for the first time. This is especially the case for Pokemon Colosseum. I've never played it until this playthrough. They're all essentially in blue. So if the thumbnail slides, or more like if the thumbnail templates is in blue, then the game that I'm doing a Let's Play on is a blind playthrough. If a template is in red, then it is a game that I had played before in the past, or especially that it's pretty much my childhood game that I played since I was very young. A video with the green template means that this is a online match videos or online multiplayer video that I do where I'm essentially playing games online. And then last but certainly not least, if a thumbnail template is in purple, then that means that whatever this game is I did a live stream on. This will be the only time where if I do a live stream on a game, or a live stream Let's Play, let's just say, because that's something that will be pretty dope to do. To me anyways, then the template will be in purple. It'll pretty much make it so kind of like Twitch, because Twitch is a very popular website when it comes to like live streaming. So the color purple will make it a reminder that it is kind of like live streaming on Twitch or something like that. But then again, in the beginning, if I start doing live streaming, in the beginning, it'll happen on YouTube. But once I get everything up and running and do more research and set up, assuming if I make a Twitch account or whatever, then I'll let you guys know that I would start live streaming on Twitch. But don't worry though, whatever games that I live stream at those times, I will eventually upload that live stream session on YouTube at full, because I know that some people just don't upload their live streams. It's a bit of a pet peeve of mine. Some people just don't do it. And because what happens is that when you live stream on Twitch, and if you don't download your video or take it to YouTube on your YouTube channel, then basically what happens is that after a certain amount of time, those past live streams or broadcasts will eventually be deleted, which I hate that shit, but which honestly that sucks. But don't worry, as soon as after I live stream a game, I will eventually upload it on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. So it'll be like twice the content, or maybe, I don't know. I'm most likely going to upload it in full. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I apologize if I've been jumping around the bushes a bit, but I think that's going to be it for now. I'm sorry this isn't going really long. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this update, then please hit me with a like and subscribe to my channel for more. You're more than free to send me some feedback. If there's any added suggestions that I probably didn't say in this video anyways, or if there's any ideas that you have that I probably never mentioned, please feel free to comment down below. Please don't be shy. Don't be shy at all. I don't bite. I'm open to feedback. I'm open to criticism. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys, and until then, bye.